Hello, this is Paul's Take. The beaches are open, but should they be? Let's think about this. The beaches were closed for social distancing so we don't get all the coronaviruses. We all know about that big incident during Florida spring break where all them kids, them crazy teenagers, those college kids went to spring break in Florida and they all got coronavirus. They all went home all across the country and spread that virus like a crazy people. So, are we just is that gonna happen again if we open the beaches or now that the beaches are open? Is it just gonna be a relapse? Is it gonna be horrible just like that first time? Well, here's what you gotta consider. I think a lot of people that are protesting the beaches opening up don't live on the beach or live near the beach. Or people, now I know for a fact that when I used to live by the beach, even people that lived near the beach, a lot of people didn't go to the beach. So I think if you're not a beach bum, maybe you don't have the proper perspective as us beach bums do. Because most beaches around here, I'm in North Carolina, and I'm from Los Angeles, California, so I'm very familiar with Venice Beach, Santa Monica Beach. I'm also familiar with the beaches in South Carolina, mainly Myrtle Beach, only Myrtle Beach. But if you don't go during complete peak time, the beaches are not super crowded. I've been to beaches where you can't even find a place to lay your towel on the floor, on the sand, or pitch your umbrella. I know California, we don't really pitch umbrellas, but they do on the East Coast a lot. But so I've been to beaches where it's so crowded it's hard for yourself to find a little spot on the sand. And also in North Carolina or in the East Coast, the sand is not as deep for the most part as they are on the West Coast. Sand on the West Coast can be really, like Santa Monica, he's like walking through the desert to get to the ocean. So there's plenty of space. So unless the beaches are completely crowded on an average day, especially at this time of year, which is more like spring, beaches don't get that crowded. You could find yourself some places that are not going to be like breathing on somebody else's neck or something. You could have some social distance. And if you go to a beach and it looks too crowded, take personal responsibility and say, you know what, I think there's just a little too many people at this beach, and go to the next beach. Because let's face it, there is no better place to be than the beach for now or ever, because the sun is good for you. The sun is healthy. They said vitamin D is good for you, and they want you to get that sun in you. So you got to just open your mouth to the sun, and then you'll be cured. Maybe, I don't know. Anyways, realistically, the sun is good for you. You got vitamin D, you got vitamin C or something. I don't know. And the heat makes you hot and sweaty. That's good for keeping yourself healthy as well. And the fresh air from the ocean, that nice ocean breeze. You're not getting coronavirus from the ocean breeze, no. You get it from being at Walmart and somebody breathing down your neck when you're at line, trying to reach for your Cheerios or something. Somebody's like, I want those Cheerios. Trying to fight for toilet paper. That's where you're going to get the virus. You're not going to get it at the beach. There's too much open air. There's too much circulation. They got circulated air at the stores, but there's open air at the beaches, and the air is usually coming from the ocean. So you're definitely better. So, like I said, take personal responsibility. If the beach seems too crowded, which is unlikely this time of year, or even unlikely because it's social distancing, people are freaked out. Not everybody's going to go to the beach. So find yourself, North Carolina is not a big tourist thing at the beach. They don't have big old hotels or resorts on the beach. It's mostly houses, and there's some spots you got to kind of get to the beach in certain public spots. Outer Banks there's miles and miles of beach at the Outer Banks. There's so much beach, it's ridiculous. You can drive, it's so uncrowded, per se. You can drive your vehicle on the beaches. So, really? Okay, so that's why we're opened up. Now, like I said, I'm assuming there's some places where there's not much sand and there's a lot of people, and you're basically stacked on top of each other. Those places probably should stay closed. But for the most areas where there's more sand than there are people, and you can find yourself, there's some area to lay out. And they're saying you're not even supposed to lay out in some beaches, which I kind of find kind of silly as well. If if the beach is pretty empty, and there's nobody around, lay out. Where are you going to get? There's no, nobody's breathing on you. There's no, it's just a little common sense here. A little common sense. I hear stories in California where they're arresting people or taking people off the beach that are actually in the ocean surfing. Surfing in the ocean. Really? The outside is not going to give you, you're not going to spread just because you're outside. You're not going to get it just because you're outside. You got to be by people breathing on you. What's going to breathe on you while you're surfing? Fish? Do the fish have coronavirus that they didn't tell us about? I don't think so. If they did, they didn't tell me. That's probably the safest place you can be, is on a surfboard, on a boogie board, in the ocean, with plenty of room. All you got is ocean air coming from the ocean, and they're kicking you out. That's just crazy talk. That makes you wonder, what are they thinking? Or is there more to this than meets the eye? Are they like keeping us from the alien abductions? I don't know. But how are they going to kick somebody out off their surfboard in the ocean? They're nowhere near anybody. The only time somebody's near is when the cops go out there and drag them out from the ocean. So that doesn't make any sense at all. Riding your bike on a bike path, you're fine. What the heck? Dang, take it easy. Hold your breath when you pass somebody. Don't breathe. Anyways, like I said, there's you got to use some common sense, some basic knowledge or whatever. It's not that hard. Now, granted, if there's a gathering of people and the cops should go in there and mace everybody, then they'll go away. But if you're practicing safe practices, they should leave us alone. And then if you want to go to a store, you wear a mask. Because really, it's the shared air, like in a store or a building, where you're in a closed area, there's roof, there's walls, there's circulated air. That's where you're more likely to get something. Being outside in diluted air where the breeze is going to dilute everything, come on, really, you're not going to get it. That's my take. I don't know for sure. I'm not a doctor. Don't be suing me for saying the wrong thing. It could be all wrong. Full disclaimer, I have no idea what I'm talking about. But that's what I think. That's my take anyways. So that should be a given. So yeah, people that are kind of upset about opening up, some people are really terrified of this virus. They're to a point where it's almost it's like a phobia almost, debilitating, where they just can't even go outside or freaked out. They got 3 masks on, they got their goggles on. I don't know. It's just, I think, it's not Ebola. The death rate isn't 70%. It's 0.1%. That's small. It's worse than the flu, but not by a lot. People don't have a heart attack over the flu. It's worse than the flu, but still, it's not crazy. Unless you're like, even at the worst, from my understanding, what they're saying, and this is the basic numbers, I'm just repeating them, that if you're like, I guess, 70 or over, then the fatality rate is something like 15%. 15 at over 70 or 80 years old. At 50 years old, it's like 0.01. Now, double check my numbers. I'm going by memory, but it's really low. Okay? So, take it easy. Unless they're lying to us, which is possible. I don't trust anybody. Then it doesn't seem like it should be that bad. All right. Well, anyways, that's my take. What do you think? Should we go back to the ocean? Should they allow us to take your family to the beach and throw the frisbee around, get some exercise, get some of that fresh ocean air? It's also good for the mental state. Mental usha of the ocean air. It's soothing. It calms the mind. The mind creates all this negative energy and makes you all sick. If you stay positive, you'll be fine. It's that negative. They say the mind can control. You can trick yourself into being sick and fall out and have a heart attack. So it's good for your state of mind. Sun, air, open the beaches. Everybody knows bathing suits cures coronavirus. It's a joke. Take it easy. Anyways, thanks for watching. False Take. Make sure you hit like, subscribe to my channel. I'm small. I want to get big. That would be.
Spray.
This is the way you handle it.
Hey, don't put me on video.
Kill the virus. Kill it all. Everywhere. Bring your.
Hey, you gonna see?
Don't forget your cabeza.
Don't put my face in it. Yeah, don't put my face in it.
That's the way we do it in downtown.
That's right.